I'm Tim Bassanio. For almost 20 years, MXTV has been grateful to carry a message to everyone. But tonight's message, it's for you. Stick around. I think you're gonna love this episode.
Music, message, media, mayhem. Hosted by Tim Bassanio. Now, MXTV.
I've got a story for you. The relevance with this audience at this time is right on. I know you, I've seen you. You are a generation of fighters. I believe it's your time, and I believe you're ready to take your place beside the new Giant Killers Wanted sign.
MXTV.
About 600 years before Jesus, there was this crazy kid that had no fear. The kid, he was just a shepherd, about 15 or 16 years old. Name, David. The giant, almost 10 feet tall, literal killing machine. Name, Goliath. Everybody was afraid of this guy. The king, Solomon was his name, beseeched a decree that this enemy anomaly named Goliath be taken down. The message was sent throughout the land. Giant killer wanted. Someone, please come kill this God-bashing giant. David got the message, and he showed up. I think David was surprised, even shocked, that when he showed up to stand in the line at the Giant Killers Wanted sign, there was no line. No one showed up except David. David killed that giant, rock right to the head. But that wasn't his greatest accomplishment. First, David showed up. Then God showed off. How many times do you think we miss getting to see God show off just because we were too afraid to show up? Mocking the truth, Goliath paraded twice a day in front of the armies of Israel for 40 days in a row, spewing lies and insults about God. To David, this was a problem. Nobody likes problems. Nobody likes to fight giants. But David wasn't nobody. David showed up to make a stand for truth, so he did. Standing for truth today can seem somewhere between hard and impossible. But you guys, you're fighters. No matter the size of the voice telling you otherwise, with passion, I've seen you guys stand in victory. I get it when you say, this is my body, it's my choice. I was born gay and I'll marry who I want. Legalize marijuana, it's my right. As a generation, you stand up for what you believe. And you make sure that the world knows it. As a generation, you've showed up. Because you guys have giant killing in your bones. You've become undone, completely ruined for the ordinary. Keep fighting, you guys, and remember, truth is always true. We can experience freedom when we make the most of the time that we're given. Time is kind of God's gift to us, and how we use it is going to be our gift back to Him. When we become more responsible with the freedom that God gives us, the more freedom God gives us to be responsible with. But first, we have to respond to the freedom that God has given us by taking that call. Scripture says that He has called us to freedom. And this is a calling that He gives us, our one chance in our entire life as the opportunity to live unselfishly. If you're sick and tired of just serving yourself, which ends up going nowhere, choose today who you will serve. David was a rebel, thank God. And you have that same rebel blood flowing through your veins. And I'm honored to be in your tribe. For he, God himself, has said, I will not in any way fail you, nor give you up, nor leave you without support. I will not in any degree leave you helpless, nor forsake, nor let you down, or relax my hold on you. Assuredly not. Knowing that to be true, David risked it all, and we can too. Risk initiated by man can be suicide, but risk born from the throne room of heaven brings supernatural boldness, always powered by faith. And when necessary, definitely enough faith to kill a giant. David had a problem that day. His name was Goliath. But Goliath was about to become the best thing that has ever happened to David. In life, God uses problems, addiction, abuse, loss, to build our faith. But sometimes God uses a problem, anger, discontentment, insignificance, purposelessness, racism, as an invitation into the tension of bringing about the best thing that ever happens to us. I like David. David didn't mind being David. He wasn't concerned who remembered David. David always kept the main thing, all along possessing the freedom to wear what fit. David came to represent, so he did. We've made lots of improvements in technology of fighting today, but truth doesn't need improving. 100% true is 100% enough. When David fought Goliath, it wasn't about the fight. It never was. Calmly picking up a few stones while waiting for Goliath to finish his lies, within earshot of all that stood watching, standing right in front of Goliath, of all the things that David could have done, David went total promoter. Just like the job of any good promoter, he drew attention to the star. I know you, I've seen you. You are a generation of fighters. Within throwing distance of Dave's biggest problem, he says to the world, this is not my battle. This is the Lord's. He will deliver. Today, the whole world will see there is one true God. David always looked at a problem as an opportunity with a little sweat on it. David came to promote God, so he did. Promoting God is dangerous, but it's much more dangerous to assume that someone else will. What if David had done that?
Mission X Television. Music. Message. Mission.
Listen, pay attention, man. Get a little closer and really soak this in, because I got something that's gonna help you.
I bet it's in that place where I give him an all-access pass, permission to tour, to manage, and completely rebrand my heart.
He just wants to be that loving father that he is, to really just wrap you in his arms and say, I'm here, I love you, and I've got this.
Him guiding you, him showing you the next best thing to do, the next right step. Your life is brand new, washed clean, not just polished up, but it's brand new, man, brand new life. When problems are leering over us like a giant, lies are loud. We have many opportunities to quit, and there's always a reason to not go forward. But since life is full of massive problems, most of which never happen, knowing that God is with us, the decision to move forward is always made in faith. David knew life is pointless unless there's a point. He knew the point is to serve God's purposes in our generation. That's a beautiful statement, but equally as beautiful, it can be said about you. It's time. The Giant Killer's Wanted sign is still up. In fact, it's never been taken down. You guys, now it's your turn to stay in the battle. Your turn to serve God's purposes in your generation. Now it's your turn to show up. Your time to draw attention to the star. The best you can for as long as you can. No matter your battle today, the new Giant Killer's Wanted sign is still flying high.
MXTV.
For some of you, maybe you've never asked God to be the biggest thing in your life. Or maybe you have, but right now, you need Him to show up in your life to first kill the giant of drugs or drinking or pornography or whatever it is that's keeping you from being the giant killer that God made you to be. You can do what David did, what I've done, and what billions of others have done to kill the giants in their life. First thing tomorrow, seek godly counsel. But right now, ask God to slay your giant, because your battle, just like David's, belongs to the Lord. For others, you recognize that God's been talking to you to make Him the Lord of your life for the first time. You're humbly showing up before a merciful God, knowing that you need Jesus. As you saw in tonight's story, Jesus has a great fondness for people that know that they need Him. Only Jesus can set us free. And when He sets us free, we are right with God. If you would like to be free, if you would like to be right with God, it's so simple. You can say, Jesus, I need you. Those are His favorite words. And He will meet you right where you're at. Thank you for tuning in. There's all kind of information that we have right there for you. Go to those URLs, call that phone number, and there's real people on the line right there that can help you. Thank you for being here with us and born to be wild and free. All right, let's roll. For those of you that are needing freedom in their life, needing God to show up and show off in your life, ask God to come in and break those chains that are keeping you from being that giant killer that God has made you to be. And I know that you're tired of being held back. Ask Jesus to do that right now. Father, and I pray for those people. Give them freedom, Father. Break their chains, allow them to run free and to be the people that you have created them to be. And God, I thank you for doing that. Give them help. Father, they need you. Would you pray with me now if that's you? Say, God, I need you. And He will. He has met you now. Thank you so much for being here with MXTV. I am so excited for you. Congratulations. You guys have made the biggest decision of your entire life. Before you go, I want to give you something. You may or may not know, David made a lot of mistakes in life, but he stayed in the battle. I love archery. Practice is important, and I love to do it. Here's some field tips that I've used to help keep me on the field and on target. Number one, work hard. When it's worth doing, it's worth doing well. Number two, walk humbly. Humility is as basic to life as oxygen is to breathing. You cannot not walk humbly. Number three, let it go. To finish well, forgiveness is our only option. Like we saw from David shooting Goliath. Number four, be yourself. Function in your gifts. Do what comes naturally. Have fun. For the sake of the kingdom, don't burn out. Number 5, be an encourager and not just when others are watching. Number 6, love the truth, know God's word. By God's grace, I look forward to forever joining you standing beside the sign. Stay in the battle. From one hopeful giant killer to another, now it's your turn. Read it, speak it, live it, and find your place in God's story.
MXTV UK. Music. Message. Mission.
Well, I just think pain without Jesus is hopeless, and with Jesus, there's victory.
I've found the key to deep contentment.
My saviour's still breathing. I still hashtag it and tweet it.
My passion for MXTV UK is that the hope of Jesus would reach the hearts of this generation. Our ultimate goal is that people would find freedom from their past, peace in their present, and hope for the future.
MXTV UK, a voice for this generation.